Formally, AREAi started November 15th, 2014. Hi, my name is Prince Gideon Olanrewaju and I'm the Chief Executive Director of Aid for Rural Education Access Initiative, AREAi. I think AREAi is a direct response to my desire to respond to a challenge that I found interesting while studying as an undergraduate. There's a long story behind how the idea of mobilizing support for under-resourced schools has metamorphosed over time into what we have as AREAi today. It would be interesting to share that AREAi was formerly known as Learn to Lead Foundation, because when we originally started, I had the idea of supporting students in rural schools or under-resourced schools to develop skills or competencies that helps them to translate academic effort into results or outcomes. But I was naive then, with limited capacity on how to go about education programming that would be effective towards effecting lasting change or institutional change. And having gone to several schools conducting outreaches, I stumbled on more materials and met some individuals who made me understand that there is more to the challenge or the problem that I wanted to solve. And this gave me an opportunity to take a step back and reflect on how I can address the problem of access and quality of education in a more sustainable way. And we've come years along doing what we have decided to dedicate the rest of our lives to, which is ensuring that we can support children with access to accelerated formal or non-formal learning and empowerment opportunities. So yes, that is a very abstract, not too in-depth story about how AREAi started. Formally, AREAi started November 15th, 2014, right? And I said formally because that was the very first day I assembled the first set of volunteers in Lautech when I was an undergraduate student. But I've had the desire and I've engaged in solitary actions that I think accumulated over time into becoming AREAi years before, and particularly in my third year in the university, which was around early 2013, in the city of Ogbomoso. So 2014 to date, that's roughly about 9 years, if I'm correct. So yes, AREAi is going to clock 9 years, November 15th this year. So challenges, adversities would always be there. I have always said something that a lot of people within the development space in Nigeria may be accustomed to across stages and platforms that I have shared and have spoken at, and that is the idea that not everybody has the mental capacity or the emotional stability to run structures, right? Many people would rather be volunteers rather than being pioneers, and I always say those two lines because there's a distinctiveness between the challenges you would encounter as a pioneer and as a volunteer. A volunteer can be someone just contributing to advancing the vision of a pioneer, but a pioneer is someone who has taken it upon itself to shoulder a vision and drive that that vision to fruition. And there are a couple of challenges that is very peculiar in this journey, not only peculiar to me but to many visionaries within the development space. And one of them would be identifying and recruiting and retaining talent. But why those are, that is one major challenge. The idea would be to talk about those key virtues or skills or responses that have enabled us to address those challenges. The first thing that I would say would be a clear vision or a clear-cut clarity of purpose. Yeah, that would be the best way to call it, clarity of purpose. I have seen over time how, colleagues may have been distracted from the core mandate upon which their vision is centered upon, and that is a critical challenge. So having a clear-cut understanding of why you do what you do and how you do it is a very principal element in building resilience over time. As I have built my individual identity or brand over time, is to be known for my work in the educational development space and to build my competencies in that regard as well. And I think that can be attributed to that clear sense of understanding or clarity of purpose. Another one would be, being surrounded by equally passionate and competent people. And there are two things that are just very, very, critical in that I just said, which is being surrounded by passionate and competent people. So two things, passion and competence. And I've always said as well that passion is never enough. Passion is key, but capacity is king. So you mirror the two together, and then you are able to assemble, a kick-ass team, set of individuals who would, support you in driving the vision. So I can say historically, since inception to date, we have been extremely lucky as an organization to have attracted, to still be attracting, and to have people within the ranks who are really passionate about this work that we do, which is supporting, education in the most rural and underserved communities. And at the same time, they are astute professionals, individuals who have the rare combination of skill, of competence, of attitudes that is required for us to get the job done. So I can say AREAi has been very, very lucky with that. The last thing would be, which is one thing that I've also done, is maintaining critical relationships, which professionally can be equated to quality stakeholders engagement. Over time, we have leveraged on different platforms and opportunities to do the work of AREAi. But one thing that has helped us is that we have constantly positioned ourselves to building partners and funders that we are a credible organization to pitch tent with. And at the core of that reputation is the continuous understanding of the need to deliver excellent work, right? Excellent work. Myself and my colleagues at AREAi, we have this very popular and interesting saying that we used to banter about, and that is quote and unquote ruthless execution. And it's a culture, is an ideology that we've built that have now been embedded and incorporated into the kind of work that we do, ensuring that we can deliver excellently in line with donors' expectations and even beyond. I think that has also very much helped us, because when we are able to stick to the gold standard of quality in our work, we are able to retain former or existing partners, and we are able to bring on new ones. And at the core of every organization, the capacity of an organization to continue to drive change is having access to resources. So being able to maintain quality stakeholders engagement has really helped us over time. So finally, a very critical element in how I've built myself as a person and also enabled the organization is innovation, right? There's a popular saying that innovation is the hallmark of social change. And in the kind of work that we do, there's this reiterated emphasis on the need for organizations to be able to leverage on new approaches in programmatic development and design. And we have done that beautifully well at AREAi, and has helped us to continue to exist within the space and do good work at the same time. We have combined both unconventional and conventional approaches in driving, learning outcomes. And a huge example of that would be one of our flagship program, Fast Track, which supports children in refugee camps and in underserved communities to acquire foundational learning skills. And the way we've done that program, how it was designed, how it was piloted, how it's been implemented over time to becoming a program that is supporting over 18,000 children across Nigeria, is all attributable to the element of innovation. How we've been able to turn things around, combining 3 evidence-based methodologies and doing it like it's never been done before. That is innovation, and I think we're very good at that. So I could go on and on, but I would say at the core of all of these things that brings everything together is the people. I call them humans of AREAi. It's been really great having selfless people to work with and do this together. Yeah. Okay. The turning point for AREAi. There are a number of points that I can, identify, but I would say the very moment we decided to zero in on addressing 4 thematic focus areas that speaks to the critical challenges facing the Nigerian educational system, we hit the jackpot. By the time we decided to say, let's work on foundational learning, girls' education, digital equity, and transitions from school to work, and harmonizing every of these things and embedding it into the fiber of the organization, we got it right. And that happened almost at the same time when the organization relocated to Abuja. So we were formerly headquartered in Ibadan. So you would say preparation on working on those thematic areas also met with opportunity in terms of the change in geographical location. So if you bring all of those things together, you will see how the year 2018 was significant in how we were able to turn our work around in expanding the scope and reaching more beneficiaries over the years. So pretty much it's about geographical change as well as programmatic re-engineering. Those 2 things happened in the year 2018, and that was predominantly the turning point. Well, I think that's a hard question. So let me be technical about it. I've always said that it is very fulfilling doing this. It can be somewhat discouraging sometimes because you are bounded by a clarion call that you have hearkened to, and you need to continue to deliver on it, and that in itself has some sort of a lead on how far you want to run on personal obligations, because you have professional commitments. If I would do AREAi, yes, I would do it all over again, to be honest, because there's a sense of fulfillment that comes from, number one, being emboldened to innovatively respond to challenges that affect millions. It's also very gratifying to create a platform where other people can also dream big and achieve their aspirations. It's also very interesting to see how the work we do creates the perfect platform to launch pad, quote and unquote, for some of our biggest dreams in the future as individuals, professional dreams. So yes, AREAi has been giving and will continue to give, and because of that reality, if I have the chance to do this over again, I will gladly do that. Biggest, quite a number. Okay, the biggest lesson so far leading AREAi would be trust your instinct about people, and that in itself will allow you to invest in the right people and divest, quote and unquote, in the wrong people, right? And if you're going to invest in people, go all the way. I have seen that organizational quality is equated to the individual quality we have within the organization. So our excellence as an organization is defined by the excellence of the individuals we have. And because of that, it is a continuous desire to say that the best way to grow this organization is to grow its people or our people. So it is really, really important that I continue to hold on to that cardinal lesson, that the more our people become better, the more the organization can reach its best or its peak. Yes. My name is Prince Gideon Olanrewaju, and I'm the Chief Executive Director of AREAi.